Sports Talk with myself, Dudene Bland, and today we're going to talk a little bit about whether the Dallas Cowboys are a fluke. Do you think that they are a fluke with what they've shown, their 71 record? And we're going to go through Sunday's games and break those down, and we'll give you my picks as well. So let's get into it. Are the Dallas Cowboys a fluke when it comes to their 7-1 record? Topic of conversation that I saw on the boards Thursday, thrown around amongst NFL fans. It's a very interesting topic, and let's just say, first and foremost, we all know that the Cowboys, the previous season, had a rough season, which resulted in a 4-12 record. Now, you know, when teams have poor records, they are given favorable or schedules that represent that the following year. Now, if you have been listening to this show for a while, we talked about the Dallas Cowboys having a very easy schedule, 31st in the league as far as schedule is concerned. And now they find themselves at 7-1. So does that make them and what they've done flukish? But when you look at the teams they've faced up to the bye week, you have the Giants, which was a loss. Some may say that they were a guy, Terrence Williams, going out of bounds away from winning that game. We'll never know, truly, because, I mean, as great a kicker as Dan Bailey is, we know that anything can happen. So it's a loss. It is what it is. They could have had an opportunity to win, but we'll never know that. They played the Washington Redskins. Now, as much as they won that game, many will tell you, and the tide turned in that game when Kirk Cousins throws that pick in the end zone, which, if there was a touchdown, we'd be talking about a different ball game, I believe. In essence, they win that ball game, going and taking over that game. Played the Bears. We know what they are, not very good. 49ers, Bengals, Packers. That's just up through the bye week. Then they have after the bye week, they've had Philadelphia and the Cleveland Browns. Now, when you look within the division, it's a tight one. I mean, it's undeniable. It's like we talked about before, talking about some of the best divisions in the league. The NFC East is right up there, and despite the records, you have 4-3 Redskins, 4-4 Philadelphia, 5-3 Giants. Doesn't matter how you get there. It's the fact that they're there, and they're leading that division at 7-1. First and foremost, you got to beat the teams that are in front of you. So who cares what the strength of your schedule is and who it is that is in front of you? You got to beat the teams that are in front of you. Very well last week for the Dallas Cowboys. Could have been a trap game. We know as much as the Browns are over, they're still a formidable team and a team that comes to compete at least 4.5 until you bury them. You look at the Thursday night football game, it was a close one at half. And then the Baltimore Ravens pulled away. But they could have easily been tripped up by that. They had a dogfight with the Eagles. It was a close matchup with the Redskins. Also, the Giants game that they lost. Now, granted, we know that the 49ers and the Bears aren't really great teams, but you got to go out and beat those teams, and they beat them handily. 31-17, 24-17 for the 49ers. 28-14, a team with the Bengals, a team that they felt Many felt that could have been the possibility to hand them a loss, and they completely dominated them. And the Packers, a team that, okay, yes, are they what they used to be? No, but if you come in there slightly drowsy, you will get a 30 burger dropped on you easy. And they did that to them in Lambeau, I might say. 30 points dropped on them. So is it a fluke? No way, no how. Because they're not just winning ball games, but they're dominating ball games and winning them going away. They're fifth in the league in points allowed, 10th in the league on defense in yards total. They allow a considerable amount of passing yards. They're like 16th in the league, which is not bad. It's not the bottom. It's not the top. It's not terrible though. And they're sixth in the league in allowing 86 yards rushing a game. That's a formula for winning ball games. Now their offense is helping them out a lot. They're putting up an average of 27.9 points, 411 yards. That's for third in the league, and very balanced. 165 yards rushing. That's first in the league. When you're doing that, you're on the road to winning ball games. So there's nothing flukish about beating teams that are in front of you. Nothing flukish about that. And they're going to get tested down the stretch. And you can say what you want about the teams in the division, but those teams are tough. They got Pittsburgh coming up, and granted, they're dealing with a few issues. Roethlisberger is not very healthy. They had the Ravens, they have the Redskins again, they have the Vikings, Giants, Tampa, Detroit. These are all good, all formidable teams, and if you come in there with your head hanging, you're gonna get smoked. And they have not allowed themselves to be lulled into a trap of thinking that they're playing well enough to roll the stars out and just win ball games. They're going out and taking ball games. So you can call it what you want. They're just playing the guys that are in front of them. At the end of the day, they're dominating those guys. Say the same thing about the Washington Redskins, defending NFC East champions last year, who had an easy schedule. They did the exact same thing. Really doesn't matter. I don't want to hear about how easy your schedule is. But you got to beat the teams in front of you. This is the NFL. It's not college football where you get, you know, gimmies every now and then. No game's a gimme, especially you come in there thinking it is. You get walloped upside the head. So kudos to the Cowboys. Kudos to uh, the coaching staff, Jason Garrett, Rob Marinelli, having that team prepared week to week to go out, perform at a high level, and see to it that they dominate the opponent, not just in the trenches, but on the scoreboard and winning ball games. So Sunday's going to be awesome. Another week, week 10. And we're going to get right into it. Got the Packers and the Titans. Titans 4-5, Packers are 4-4. It's a tight division. They're going to need to win. And I think they get it figured out here, just on experience for the Packers. I like what the Titans are doing with the combination of running the football well and being able to utilize the skills of Mariota. Their defense, though, is not consistent enough. I think Aaron Rodgers will eventually get on track, but don't be surprised if the Titans can win this game. But I'm going to go with the Packers. I'm going to go with Packers just because of experience. And next, we have the Minnesota Vikings going into D.C. to take on the Washington Redskins. Minnesota 5-3 now. They're on a bit of a skid. They're reeling here and seems like they're backpedaling and can't seem to get a hold of themselves. They've lost a couple games that they really probably should have won, but teams have found a way to make them one dimensional and make them do things that they don't like. And I think the Washington Redskins at home, coming off a bye week, it's going to take them to get the running game going. Robert Kelly's going to get the nod on that. And I think that the Washington Redskins send them into a 4-game skid and get the W in Washington. Next, you have the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles, a battle of the birds. It's going to be in Philadelphia. Atlanta's hot right now, man. Matt Ryan playing exceptional football, MVP like football. And as much as we talk about their offense and as much as we talk about the defense not being able to be consistent, they have done a fairly decent job the past 2 weeks with at least bending but not breaking. And Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, along with the step up play of Mohamed Sanu, has been lighting it on fire, scoring touchdowns and really getting up on teams. It's going to be a really tough matchup if we have what we had with the Doug Peterson and, you know, not managing the game well, but putting his quarterback in some positions. Receivers for the Eagles are going to have to step up. That's something that they haven't done a very good job of this season. It's going to take a good performance by their wide receivers, but I'm going with the Falcons. I think the Falcons keep it going. They're going to be 7-3, but it's going to be a tough game. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Matty Ice. He's hot right now. Next, you have the Chicago Bears and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a toss-up. Neither one of these teams are that great. Of course, Tampa Bay looks better on paper. They haven't lived up to that. Up and down, have lost some puzzling games at times. But I'm going to take Tampa Bay at home. Jay Cutler, though, I like what he's doing since he's been back, and that's getting that deep ball going. But I think the physicality of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will win out. They have a plethora of wide receivers, and they have that man, Jameis Winston, over there. And now back in their home stadium, being able to have their home crowd, I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this game. Kansas City Chiefs and the Carolina Panthers. You know, Chiefs are not a real finesse team. They're not a team that wows you with anything, but they go out and they get the job done. It's kind of like a lunch pail team, man. They're very consistent. I think people are very familiar with Andy Reid and what he likes to do, and that's just play consistent football. And it's not about, throwing up big stats and all that good stuff, but it's just about grinding it out and winning it. And really, Carolina has got to establish some kind of consistency other than Calvin Benjamin and other than running Cam Newton. Their defense has played well over the last couple of weeks. They've gotten a few wins now, starting to get on a little bit of a roll. Can it continue? I don't think that it can. I like Kansas City in this ball game to win a close one over the Carolina Panthers. And next you have the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. There's no reason to talk about this. Jacksonville is underachieving. It's time to start looking at coaches. I'm going to take the Texans in that ball game. I believe they're a better squad. Next you have the Denver Broncos and the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans 4-4, Denver 6-3. Just on sheer defense alone, I'm going to take the Broncos. But I think the Saints will be in it. You do have Drew Brees. You do have Thomas. You do have Snead, Brooks. Hightower's running it well. Ingram, kind of in the doghouse a little bit, but he's still able to run the football. I don't like the Saints defense in this matchup. I think they can do some things. I don't know if they can do enough things late to really take over this ball game, but it'll be a close one just for the simple fact Drew Brees scores points. He scores points. and they score them quick, fast, in a hurry. And when you got Drew Brees, you at least got a shot. And they are in the dome, so that gives them an opportunity, a bigger opportunity to be able to win this football game. But I'm going to take the Broncos to edge them out on Sunday. They have the Los Angeles Rams, New York Jets. Again, two teams that, just not that good. But I am going to take the Jets. I think they're the better team out of the two. And LA's traveling to New Jersey, so I'm going to take the Jets in that one. Miami Dolphins starting to get a little bit hot. They're taking on a tough team, though. Even though they're 4-5 in San Diego Chargers, they really are a tough team. With Phillip Rivers, they mimic their quarterback, and they've lost some close ones early in the season. Now they're starting to win a few of those games, and I think the Dolphins, because of their track record, because the fact that it seems like just when you think that they're getting good, they seem to they seem to find a way to ruin it. Them going to San Diego, I like what they're doing, but I think I would have to take the San Diego Chargers to beat the Miami Dolphins on Sunday. Now you have the San Francisco 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to take Arizona in that one. Just a better team. I wish Kaepernick could get some wins, but just not enough over there. Dallas Cowboys, Pittsburgh Steelers. This is going to be a game to watch. 3:25 start Eastern. This or Central. 4:25 Eastern start. It's going to be one heck of a game. I want to see if Roethlisberger is going to be a little bit more healthy. It's going to be interesting to see how the Dallas defense handles the likes of Antonio Brown, the Le'Veon Bell out of the backfield type of deal. You got the Colts stepping up as well. I want to see how they handle this. This is going to be an interesting test, and I would not count them out. I mean, I know people. I'm not a real big Andy Dalton fan, but they did an excellent job against the Eagles, a hot team. They did an excellent job against the Cincinnati Bengals, a team that everybody thought that would probably take them, and they took them as well. Don't be surprised. It's in Pittsburgh, but don't be surprised. This team has an attitude, and I think that goes understated. The Cowboys have an attitude, and it's not that arrogant attitude. It really is a go to work attitude. And I'm taking the Cowboys. I think they're going to be 8-1. Scary, isn't it? 8-1. 8-1 going into week 11. Next, you have the Seattle Seahawks. New England Patriots. It's the Patriots. It's in Foxborough. I'm taking the Patriots. Easy. And the Monday night matchup, which we'll get into and we'll break it down on Monday's show. It's going to be the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Giants. Going to be an interesting matchup there. It's going to be in New York on Monday night. So we'll talk about it. We'll break it down on Monday. I'll give you that on Monday. Well, we thank you for listening to this show. Again, if you want to get at us, you want to talk about something that you have on your mind, shoot us an email to straightshootingst@gmail.com. If you do the Twitter thing, you can hit me up on Twitter at notbland21. And as always, go to iTunes, put in the Straight Shooting Sports Talk name in the search, find the show, subscribe to the show. So we thank you, and we will get at you on Monday. Enjoy the college games. Enjoy the NFL games.
Yeah! Crab cakes and football! That's what Maryland does!